Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time we completed our investigation behind this mysterious double murder of Taka and Hifumi. Yeah, a lot of weird things was going on, you know, what with the bodies disappearing and reappearing in different areas, and Hiro was missing for a bit and Kyoko was missing for a bit, and we ended up finding Hiro in the Robo Justice outfit, and yeah, found some papers on the bodies of Taka and Hifumi, and yeah, well, I mean, looking at the truth bullets will do a lot better job of summing up the events than I ever could. So yeah, here we have the Monokuma file. It's a really short one. All it's doing is just telling us that both guys died from a blow to the head with a similar weapon. We have a blue tarp. It was found under Taka's body. It was apparently used to move Taka in order to avoid leaving blood stains. Repository dolly. This is probably what was used to move Taka. I mean, there's blood on the wheel, and it was found in the repository. Hifumi's glasses, when we found them in the nurse's office, there was blood on them, but they were clean in the repository. Spotless hammer. This was a hammer in the repository. It was found wet and had been recently washed. The repository door, it locks from the inside. When we were doing our initial investigation, the repository was locked. Equipment room, blood stain. Seriously, y'all can't put two and two together. A tire track had been found left behind in the blood. Glasses, cleaning cloth. This was found in the nurse's office. It was used to wipe away blood. Celeste's account. Her and Hina had left the nurse's office to go to the restroom. They weren't gone for more than a minute or two. Hiro's message. This was a message Hiro left Makoto the day before, saying to meet in the dining hall. Robo Justice blueprints. Blueprints for Robo Justice found in Hiro's room. Robo Justice costume. Only Hiro can really wear it. Plus, it's kind of cumbersome. Hiro's account. He received a note last night that told him to meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. However, he could not replicate the note or, like, show us. Taka's wristwatch. It had been broken, and the hands were pointing at just, you know, like 6 o'clock. A scrap of paper was found in Taka's hand. A note Hifumi had. It read to meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. And then we have e-handbooks. Just, you know, everybody has one. Okay. Anyway, we're done with that. Let's set the skills because we got some new ones and I have more than enough skill points for them, I hope. So yeah, attentive influence is still there. Okay, well, I say skills, just skill. Neural liberation, that's what we got from Kyoko. Focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Thank you. Effective during the non-stop debate, the Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle. Thank you kindly. And yeah, everything else is still the same. Okay, so apparently raise doesn't cost any skill points. All right, we're done. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
A likely story.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Wow, and that's coming from a murderer. Who?
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
It is.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear. Okay. Make your argument with what? Rebel Justice costume, hero's message, and Rebel Justice blueprints.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay. Compelling evidence that Hero is the killer. Is that really true? What?
Everything we found in your room.
Everything we found in your room, yes. The blueprints, the suit parts. All proof enough. What's up with the blueprints then? Like, blueprints for Robo Justice, which were found in Hero's room. But that's not a...
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true.
That's not a contradiction.
Hero, why? Why did you
Because yes,
kill them?
it was his room. We found blueprints in his room. Compelling evidence. I guess they want me to present the blueprints then?
The blueprints, the suit
Wrong button.
parts, they are all proof enough.
Dang you, white noise. Oh, wait. Meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. Or do they just want us to put 2 and 2 together? Because of the fact that, you know, like, this was Hero's message. You know, handwriting is remarkably neat and clear. Looks like some dang near calligraphy stuff going on there. But then the Robo Justice blueprints, that looks like a kindergartner wrote that. So I guess
Everything
we
found
present
in
the...
your room. The blueprints, the suit
No.
parts, they are all proof enough.
Hero's
that you are
message to the...
culprit.
Oh my god. We're off to an amazing start, by the way.
Just hold on a second.
I probably should have concentrated for that.
Everything we found, the blueprints, the suit parts.
There we go. There we go. Okay, alright, alright. Okay. So there was no contradiction in the blueprints, just a contradiction between the blueprints and Hero's handwriting.
Really
Okay.
made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
You're really building yourself up, dog.
Are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Say what?
Then who was in that Robo Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. Yes, it was the Illuminati. It has been confirmed. Well, no, I mean, we know Hina couldn't wear it. I mean, she tried it on. It didn't fit her. And the Illuminati is a collective, you know, so it's not an individual. So it's only Hero.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, Guys, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
Do they though? Do
So
they?
what
Actually,
is
they
it?
do.
What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
It's kind of open and
It
shut.
seemed that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Why me? You're perfectly capable of speech. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been okay. Well, wait, wait, where was it? Yeah, repository dolly.
I got it!
There's still one more ting. The tings that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been, well, okay, we got the dolly and the blue tarp.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude? I know, right? Like, we did what you wanted.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
My God, he's just there like one of those dudes. Like let's say somebody's in a fight and the crowd gathers around. He's just the instigator. Like he's in the back like, oh, you just gonna take that, fam? Oh, he disrespected your family. No, you can't go out like that. You need to do something about it. If I was you, man, I wouldn't take that. What you gonna do though? What you gonna do? Like he's just an instigator. Like my God.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Ouch.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Double ouch? Wow. Never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. You have not met my sister, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the triangle button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the square button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the square button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the square button now has a function along with the X and probably is supposed to say triangle right there. Buttons. You'll automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Time for me to be silent. I screwed up badly on this last time, so let's go.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
Oh my god.
I cannot
Alright, emergency
agree.
room.
This
Or,
should prove
no, wait, equipment room bloodstain. I did well. I did well. I screwed up a little bit there. I think I got hit once, but
You're
eh,
asking
not bad.
for proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much? Have you learned nothing from your free time interactions with her?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
It really doesn't.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Alright, time to make this here argument. Robo Justice costume, repository dolly, Robo Justice blueprints.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
And that's because you're not too bright. The dolly was used to move Taka's body, that much I'm sure of. But would the person inside the suit have been able to push the dolly? Because if you recall, the Robo Justice costume, it's a little cumbersome. You can't bend at the waist.
Keep in mind that the dolly
And you
doesn't
need
have
to
a handle.
bend
Well,
to
yeah,
push the cart since it doesn't have a handle.
without a handle,
So,
all you'd have to
I'm
do
sorry.
is bend
We
over.
gotta point out a flaw in your argument there, Hina.
That's wrong.
Sorry, best girl.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here, can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Who said anything about kick, though? I mean, you wouldn't have to kick, just push. But
It'd
yeah.
be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because Well, I mean, he probably isn't strong enough, and once it's on, you can never take it off. But why can you never take it off? Because you can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, sir. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
Far too early to reach that conclusion.
I know, we haven't even done the comic thing yet.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
By the way, that was a really good book series. Series of unfortunate events. Highly recommend it.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina,
Oh my god, we're
Kyoko,
reviewing this
and
again?
myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Yeah, huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. It's back. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
I mean, this is more annoying to me because I just got done seeing like this same recap like half an hour or 45 minutes ago. So yeah, like in video format, this it's probably been like a few days. So yeah.
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
The not as popular cousin series of a series of unfortunate events. Didn't hear too many good things about a series of connected events. Just saying.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. Make your argument. Broken wristwatch, Monocle filing, hero's message.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The order that the Justice Hammers were used in to commit the murders, something about that is bothering me. Yeah, because Taka's watch at the time of impact had 6 a.m.
Or perhaps it was after?
That was well before
What order they were killed in.
anything.
What makes you say
Wait,
that?
hopefully I'm gonna hit the right message
Because
here.
of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
No,
Hifumi
we can't
was
go
killed
based
with
on the
Justice
numbering.
Hammer 3, while Taka's
So I have to
death
hit
came from
order. Okay.
So it's obvious Taka
Yeah, you're a little off today, Hina.
So, I wonder if he died.
Okay.
Or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Or maybe not.
Shoot!
Okay, wait a
So,
minute.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No.
Shoot!
Okay, I'm a little confused here. Monokuma filed 3. It doesn't give the order. I thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. But Hero's message, the note saying Hero wrote to get everyone to meet. Like, yeah. Broken wristwatch is the only thing I can think to use.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Let's not use the Monokuma
Or perhaps
file?
it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
It's true that he flew while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh my god, I'm very confused.
Shoot!
So, I wonder if... Or perhaps it was after... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say
Or is it the fact that it doesn't tell you what the murder weapon was? Just a similar weapon was used?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Oh my god, I legit don't know. Oh my god, I think I'm... Have we already got that mechanic though? I don't... Has that mechanic happened yet? Have they gone over flashbacks? That's the only thing I can think of at this point then.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
I guess we already had the explanation over...
Hifumi was killed
I
with Justice
completely
Hammer.
forgot if we did then. But okay, so yeah, the numbering.
So it's obvious Taka came...
Like, because we don't know if they actually were used, like, in the order of, like, finding them, I guess?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Okay, that was correct. I did not think flashbacks happened yet. Wow, I do not remember the second trial then.
The
Okay.
hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Wait, I'm trying to... Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think back to the second trial. Was flashbacks? I mean, it had to have been then. I mean, for that to be the right thing for me to do there, but... Huh. Was it when we had to figure out, like, Mondo was lying about... Or, like, he had to slip of the tongue with the whole, like, color thing? For the tracksuit? I don't know. Ugh. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I need to remember, flashbacks are in fact a thing. Wow.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was something. Okay, Hangman's Gambit. But I think I was already on the right track with this. Yeah, I think that's going to be wristwatch. I've forgotten the controls for this. Oh. Okay, just shoot. And concentrate. Got it! Okay. Wrist. S. Where's the T? There is supposed to be a T. There we go. W. Alright, one more T. And get that C. Okay, H. Where is an H? Okay, that was a sneaky H right there. Holy crap. It was trying to juke. Oh snap. Okay, I sees you, H. I sees you.
Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey you, how long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierces the air as he scared pointing at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah. Huh? Well, what was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
What, like Mankind saying he quit and that I quit Match Against the Rock?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
But you're all situated in a circle, though.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been going for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body
Fireman's carry,
apparently
dog.
disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, What if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Oh, necromancy. I see you, Kyoko.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Oh, that makes a little more sense than necromancy. Okay.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Make your argument. Longer wristwatch, equipment room bloodstains, less account.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Should have concentrated on that, but yeah, I think I see this. The body discovery announcement was only made once, that much I'm sure of. So, but yeah, the body discovery announcement is made every time a dead body is found. So why did it only play once?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
But wait, but then what would I use to do?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement.
Yeah, okay, so because she's bringing up the body discovery announcement.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Okay, dead body had been found. All right. So yeah, I use this. Okay, time to concentrate.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's
There we go.
discovery.
Okay.
Are you saying that when we first, there's a chance
He was actually...
No. It
Ah,
is
crap. I
impossible.
meant to hit the white noise.
Hifumi was dead. And you know that surely you heard the body discovery and Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Ooh, I thought I missed. That would not have been good. What's the brother got to do to refill his health, though?
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
For the first time, huh?
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about how weird this must be for Toko and Genocide Jill, because they don't share the same consciousness. So it's like these trials, they're just learning everything from like the very beginning. It's cool. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when When Toga was no, she wasn't dead, and not after he came back to life. When both bodies were rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. Have to find it and show it to everyone. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses, repository dolly, repository door. Well, the repository shouldn't have anything to do with this.
The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
The reason I can say Hifumi was still alive, I just find the contradiction in these statements, I'm sure it will become clear. Well, yeah, it's his glasses.
Here's one thing we
One minute they're dirty and covered in blood, the next minute they're perfectly clean.
And the next
But yeah, his
time
body
we
did
saw
disappear, we know that,
But when
in the
you compare
repository.
his body before being moved and his body after being moved,
Hey, after being
other than
moved.
the change in how
Yeah, it was positioned differently,
There was no notable difference.
but his glasses was also a notable difference. Thought I was going to run out of time on that one.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was the Princess Piggles glasses cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Anime mascot. Get it right.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
Were you even following along?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
I'm sorry, that's a good phrase right there, copious corpse.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Taka himself. Nah, it was Sakura, you know, because she's strong enough to do... Nope. It was Hifumi.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Uh-oh.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be... yeah, the note Hifumi had.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
In his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, in his pants. That's a Harvey Birdman attorney-at-law reference.
Yes.
Yes, in his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. No, wait, that's not a person. And we didn't get a note. I mean, we're the protagonists. We're playing as protagonists. We would have seen it. Though, to be fair, we did have that scene with Hina. And that scene with Monokuma and the spy. So, we're not always with the protagonists at all times. But nah, it was Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
I love that she gives everybody nicknames, though.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, her name is Genocide Jill. Also, I can't let her get to me. Make your argument. Glasses clean cloth, broken wrist. Oh crap, blue tarp with glasses, spotless hammer. What? Let me see how this one will play out.
Right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Wait. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to see what Makoto's hint would have been, but that one's easy, and it came on the last one.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
That's why they're a monster? That's why they're okay.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
In his pants?
Most likely.
Okay, I gotta
Hifumi
stop.
stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. Well, we did find a scrap of paper in Taka's hand, because rigor mortis had set in. So somebody might have
When I
snatched a
searched
note from him,
Taka's
but
body,
didn't get all of it.
I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Calm down, weed boy.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
Aside from the 30 seconds when he came back to life, it was talking about, I remember everything, I remember all of you, and, oh, Yasuhiro killed
The
me.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Wow,
Who
rude.
are you calling a walrus?
I know. Why is she a what? Where did that come from? Walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter about the size of a hammer. I mean, look at a standard, like hammer you can hold in one hand to hammer a nail into a wall to hang up a picture or something. That hammer is heavy enough to kill somebody. Like, it's about the, see, we're getting into physics now, and I don't really want to do this because I'm not a physics major, but it's like the, not surface area, but, well, no, like surface area and force and whatnot. I don't know. It gets into the whole thing where it's like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, like, the greater the surface area, the less force it can give or something. But at the same time, weight is also an aspect too, because, yeah, a sledgehammer has more surface area than a small hammer, but that can also kill somebody too. Just saying. So, I mean, probably because of the weight attributed to it, but whatever, I don't know what I'm trying to get at here. Hopefully you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say here.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Make your argument. Broken wristwatch, blue tarp, spotless hammer. We're kind of spelling this one out.
Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Is that a real URL?
Seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers. And, that's about it.
Oh, just not enough time. But yeah, the weapon used was similar to the weapon used to kill Taka. Yeah, but yeah, I think we're going to have to use Spotless Hammer on Hero's little statement there. Because I didn't see too many contradictions. Justice Hammer 5, maybe they didn't have time to paint the Spotless Hammer as that one. So, there we go.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
I mean, it's a wooden hammer, though. Blood would get into the grain. Unless they're finished or laminated or something. So then, okay, I guess in that case, yeah.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but make your argument. Took a wristwatch, blue tarp, spotless hammer.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Only grabbing that because I'm not seeing something I can hit with one of my truth bullets there. Is the possibility of an accomplice really that insane? Or is there some chance?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
So Kyoko supplied a counterexample to the whole impossible thing, so
only the
let's
one
give it
who
a shot.
actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true.
Okay. I need to find a skill to increase my concentration meter because wow.
It's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Okay, well, it's not us, obviously. It wasn't Sakura. It wasn't Kyoko, because she was gone. We know it wasn't Hina. We know it wasn't you. Not you. Not you, because split personality thing. Well, it can only be you.
Here's my answer.
You did have Hifumi on your every beck and call.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
I love her voice actress so much.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Well, Hina screamed too. Why would they have the paper hidden in his pants in common? But no, they were the only ones that encountered this suspicious individual or saw him.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Rude.
Sorry.
You apologize?
As he said,
Cuck?
only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather an intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah, huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of, an obvious thing anybody would say in that situation.
You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this, enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Alright, time to make the argument again. E-handbook, Monokuma file, and Celeste's account. This is going to be a flashback, isn't it?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Yes, the fact that she said those guys when, technically speaking, she should have only known one person was dead. Celeste said what she did, she shouldn't have known yet. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is...
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die.
Just like those guys.
No, it's wrong.
So obviously somebody could say like, well, to be fair, I was talking about, Mondo and Chihiro
There's
and
no reason
Sayaka
Celeste
and
should have
Leon,
said,
they
"Just
all
like
died
those
too.
guys died." When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is... well, no, they're too young to be drinking. Well, Hifumi is too young. They could have been dancing, but I'd say Hifumi was dragging them away. That's why it looked like he was struggling.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Snap. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? I like how the shortest investigation is leading way to the longest trial to date. Ooh, wow. What? It's a lot.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
I like that little Monokuma laugh at the end. No, that's not right. There's definitely a contradiction in what Celeste is trying to claim. Because, like, no way they could be standing upright. But... Robo Justice costume. Nobody would be able to see their feet are bent at the waist more than 90 degrees. Like, it's set up in a way where they can't move at all.
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like...
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can
Like, it would
see in
retain
the picture,
a standing
the suspect is
form.
standing perfectly upright. If the person inside
nope.
the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made and bent at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Uh-oh. She's looking a little nervous.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Uh-oh.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
I'm sorry, I just love how she tries to keep the accent going while she's so pissed off. Hey, Fumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasu Hiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hatakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Oh, they should have pronounced it tarot. That way, like tarot cards, because I'm clairvoyant. Hi-yo.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said for serious a lot. He gave everyone's nicknames. No, that's Genocide Jill. So, he said people's last names. No, like he referred to Makoto as Mr. Naegi.
That's right, our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Robo Justice, E-Hammock, Spotless Hammer, Yasuhiro's Message, Robo Justice Blueprints. Holy crap. That is a lot.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? 9,
name is Celestia Ludenberg. God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
Isn't there any way to make her face the truth? Well, there is. E-handbooks have people's real names.
He wanted us to know the killer's last
I mean,
name.
granted, our e-handbook still shows her as, oh, well, I can't check from right here. Shows her as Celeste, but that's just a report card. Yeah. The actual e-handbook, when you load it up, it'll say your name. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to say Celestia Ludenberg, goddammit. It should just say Celestia
How
Ludenberg.
long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the
Plus, it kind of
truth.
made it obvious with all the
And
white
since
noise
you have
that's
no way to
around here.
contradict me,
That's going to be like, that's the statement you hit.
That's it! The handbook!
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Okay. Closing climax interference begin start. Alright, so we got, you know, Hifumi meeting somebody in a room. There's chips, there's posters, there's dolls and junk. What we got right here. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? Wow, really? 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 The Mion Hazuki poster? Really? Okay. But trying to think, how did, oh, come on, seriously. But how would they, well, I don't see anything about, oh, there is more over here. Yeah, they lured him with food. I mean, he seems like the type. No, I guess we do this. It's like they're shaking hands or something, and then he got this look like, oh my god, this is my O face, disgusting. And then they smile, so then act 2. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? Okay, so it was 1 a.m. Oh my god, I gotta look at a freaking analog clock now. Okay, that's the 1, the minute. Okay, we got it. And then Hero walks up in there, they're hiding, and is like, yo, what's going on? And then, who was it that the killers had summoned first? We see this right there, him. But okay, I guess he's scratching his head like, oh man, it's 1 a.m. I'm tired. And then boom, chloroform, or however you pronounce that. And then, oh, he's out like a light. And then they're putting him in the Optimus Prime cosplay. And then, like right here, we got, they knocked him out and stuffed him in the rubble just suit to falsify their evidence. And they use a certain item to do it. Confused on this one. Oh, well, I guess, okay, yeah. Readying the camera. Oh, I'm fighting. Take a picture. Act, I'm being choked. Okay, act 3. We got, what time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? 6 in the morning. So we got, wait, that's 6. Well, that's no, this is the 6. So that's 7:08. That's not. Okay. Let's go with this. I mean, yeah, it looks like a wristwatch. You can see his white cuff right there. Okay, we'll go with that. That's... No, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, that's 7. Whatever, let's just go with it. So Keondo's looking at his watch. Oh, I'm sorry, Tando's looking at his watch. And he's like, oh, this is my chance. Yeah, just a camera for a swing. He's like, wait a minute, I hear something. And then he turns around, but it was too late. Ha ha ha, he's dead. Okay, so the Justice Hammer that used to kill Taka, what number was it? Well, thank you for telling me. It's like one of those tests a teacher gives you where the answer to like question 5 was on page 1, if question 5 wasn't already on page 1. So yeah, Justice Hammer 4, Bloody, Act 4. Oh, I have a picture to show you guys. Hifumi is being choked out. Okay, well, let's go to the library. Hifumi's there. Oh no, oh my head. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Oh, that's how you change the pages. You can do the directional button. Okay. Crap. Wait, no. Buttons. Weird. Why is Leon's hand still... Okay, fine, whatever. So, Justice Hammer was used to hit Hifumi, or so we thought. So, Justice Hammer 2? Okay. So then, Act 5, Nurse's Office. Okay, we're leaving you here. Be safe. Oh, okay, I'll be fine. And then I'll take the blood, rub some on my face. Yeah, I'm spinning. And then with Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was pretending to be dead. Justice Hammer, dry if you're German. And so then, oh no, we see that Hifumi's dead. Oh no, we see that Taka's dead. Act 6. Hifumi's looking, make sure the coast is clear. It's like, okay, I'm gonna grab this tarp, wrap you up like a metapod, wheel you away, all the way away. Hifumi used something to move Taka's body. It was a dolly. I need to be a little quicker with this, running out of time. Yeah, that's him exerting the effort. Okay, then I will unwrap you. And did I do good? Did I do good? This is my hap dance, booty dance, booty dance. But then, unbeknownst to him, I'm grabbing Triple H's weapon of mass destruction. Then, boom, blood everywhere. Haha, this is me grimacing at my evil plan gone successful. They both are dead. And the weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi, what was it? This. You can clearly see it. It was, in fact, this hammer. Is there anything else I can shoot? No. It was the chips! It was clearly the chips, but no. No. It was Injustice Hammer.
Here's exactly what happened.
That was not even witty.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
John Cena! No, Hifumi. Yeah, but told you it was a handshake.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
They really worked to make Hifumi look as ugly as possible in this comic.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste.
Overly dramatic.
Sorry, you lose.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
What?
Diego?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Okay, well, yeah, B. Just checking it. Oh, snap. Look at that. Final result is an A. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Give me my mono coins. 131. Nice. So, yeah, with that, that's going to be it for today. She didn't want to drag things out. She just, said like, okay, yeah, my name is Taiko Yasuhiro. Yeah. So there we go. next time we find out what's going to happen to Celeste. I still want to call her Celeste because that sounds a lot better than Taiko. Just saying. Though Taiko drums are cool. But they're spelled differently. So. Well, whatever. See y'all next time. Goodbye.